Hello, Michael Sham here. Here we are in the middle of January, and we need to have a look at where South Africa is over the last couple of days. The news has been dominated by one thing only, and that was a very strange article written by a Minister of Tourism, none other than the pampered Princess Lindiwe Sisulu, who wrote about South Africa's problems being fairly and squarely due to our constitution. When people drown in pit latrines, it's not because somebody didn't build a toilet, it's because of the constitution. When we have load shedding, it's not because people decided to capture Eskom, it's because of the constitution. Right? This is the logic that Lindiwe Sisulu has used in her article. She goes a step further. It's not just the constitution's fault. The fault lies with black judges and black politicians whose minds have been colonized. Now, this is coming out of somebody who has been a cabinet minister for nearly 28 years. So clearly her mind is also colonized, but she's managed to break out of this. So she is indeed somebody that is brilliant. We need to keep an eye on her. So two questions come up. Why has she done this? And what is it that she wants South Africa to look like? Well, the first part is dead simple. Lindiwe Sisulu has always wanted to be president. Now, let's not forget that this is a woman who has changed teams so often, right? She started off a loyal member of Thabo Mbeki's cabinet. She then joined up with Jacob Zuma when it became clear that he was going to win back in the mid-2000s, and then she became a loyal follower of Jacob Zuma. When it was clear that the Jacob Zuma era was ending, she was quick to join Cyril Ramaphosa in 2017, and in fact was Cyril Ramaphosa's candidate for vice president of the country. Everybody seems to have forgotten that. She lost out to David Mabuza, but she was going to be our deputy president, right? And now when she's fallen out of favor and she didn't get that role as deputy president, she's now throwing in her lot with the so-called RET faction, the Radical Economic Transformation faction. I presume in the hope to be their presidential candidate at the ANC's elective conference at the end of the year. So we all understand that this is just one long tortured CV that she has posted to tell everybody, hey guys, I'm very radical. Put me in charge. You need somebody in charge, and Ace Magashule is not the guy. I'll be in charge and I'll be the presidential candidate. So I think we've got to see it very much in that light. But to me it raises a more interesting question. If she's pandering to the RET faction by writing this article, which clearly doesn't seem like it was written by her, because this is the language of other people. We've heard all of these terms out of the mouths of a collection of thugs, from Carl Niehaus, Ace Magashule. We've heard this from everybody, even the guys in the EFF, talking about the same old colonial thing. You know, this is their language. Suddenly she's using it. So it's highly doubtful that she penned it herself. But what is it that these guys actually want? Well, if you think about it, really what they want is they want an adjustment to the constitution, which makes South Africa look more like Zimbabwe or Uganda, where you can be arrested if you in some way disparage a politician, or if you say something nasty about the president, you can go to jail without trial. There's laws in there, you know, laws that stop me from stealing your stuff, but they won't be applied when politicians engage in corruption or end up with billions of dollars in some Swiss bank account. So we've got to keep a very close eye on this RET faction, because really all they want is they're not looking for any radical transformation. The only transformation they're looking for is a transformation which allows them to gather more money, and a transformation which keeps them out of the court of law and keeps them in a job where they can keep stealing. So I'm so surprised that so many seemingly intelligent analysts are giving any credence whatsoever to what Lindiwe Sisulu has to say. In the meantime, all this distracts us from the real problem in South Africa, and that is one of economic growth. It's almost as if the government, the ANC in particular, the president, shame, he seems to be the only one who ever does anything, but and that's not a lot, seem to have forgotten about the economy altogether. The only good news that's come out about the economy in the last couple of months has been an almost collapse in the COVID-19 arrangements, and it looks like we are going to, within the next month or so, probably going to be back to business as it was before. I'm not going to say great business because it wasn't so great before COVID. But it does look like some of these stupid things are over. Curfews, people limits, etc. Enough people have been vaccinated, or certainly enough people have had the opportunity to be vaccinated if they view this as their own health crisis. We've seen the Omicron variant go through without causing major catastrophes at our hospitals. So I think that despite the government, not because of it, 2022 is probably going to be the best year we've had in a while, and I hope that you get back to business. I hope that you generate a lot of money, and I hope that you pay as little tax as possible. So until we chat again in the future, thanks very much for watching this.